Welcome back to Charm and Circumstance, and I am your host, Ashley Morgan from Ashley Morgan Interiors. So, today we're going to talk about a topic that every homeowner and design lover needs to hear: timeless kitchen design. How to create a space that feels just as fresh in 10 years as it does today. This episode is your go to guide for avoiding fleeting trends and embracing enduring beauty, function, and comfort in the heart of your home, the kitchen. So, what exactly is a timeless kitchen? It's a space that stands the test of time, not because it's stuck in the past, but because it's rooted in balance, quality, and smart choices. Timeless kitchens do not scream a particular year or trend. Instead, they whisper elegance, practicality, and restraint. So, the key features of a timeless kitchen are neutral color palettes. Think whites, creams, grays, and warm woods. I am also going to leap out there and claim that there are other certain colors that are actually colorful that could be considered neutrals, like blues, natural materials like marble, granite, quartz, or butcher block, simple cabinetry. Shaker style is a classic for a reason. A balanced layout that prioritizes function over fashion. So let's break these down. From floor plans to finishing touches, function to the feeling you get walking into a room. I'm Ashley Morgan, an interior designer with a love for beautiful living and a belief that great design should tell your story. I've spent over 20 years in the industry, and now I'm pulling back the curtain on interiors, sharing insight, inspiration, and the strategy behind well-designed spaces. Expect smart design talk, refined tips, and just the right mix of polish and personality. So pour something sweet and join me for a thoughtful conversation with a generous helping of charm and circumstance. All right, so let's talk about materials and colors that never date. Colors and materials set the tone for your kitchen. The trick is keeping it clean, natural, and inviting. Regarding cabinetry, white remains a top choice. It reflects light, looks fresh, and pairs well with any accent. Soft grays, grayish, or natural wood are also timeless. The great thing about cabinetry, though, is we're talking paint and wood. And so, yes, this is a cost to update, but if you're keeping the same cabinetry and just restaining or repainting, this is minimal cost compared to actually gutting a kitchen and or replacing the cabinetry itself. Regarding countertops, marble may stain, but its elegance is unmatched. Quartz is a fantastic low-maintenance alternative. Avoid trendy options like colorful terrazzo or overly patterned surfaces. I think we have seen this play out regarding the use of granite in kitchens, where darker colors or busy patterns of granite were quite popular about 20 years ago or so. And now they really show that a kitchen is dated. Backsplashes, so subway tiles used there, are classic. They're affordable and versatile. But if you want a modern twist, try vertical stacking or a herringbone pattern. Regarding flooring, Hardwood or stone tiles add warmth and authenticity. And remember, texture is just as important as color. Natural textures age beautifully and add depth. Some of the details that quickly age out a kitchen are the patterns created over the range under the hood. So it could be a different backsplash tile than the rest of the backsplash material, or it could just be a different pattern or a different color. But a lot of the tile used to outline those areas above the range or each of those elements quickly date a kitchen. And so I think paying attention to those little details that have been very trendy throughout the years is important in creating that timeless kitchen as well. Now let's talk details. This is where timeless design shines. Regarding hardware, keep it simple. A brushed nickel or a matte black or unlacquered brass. I don't know that hardware itself really dates the kitchen too much. However, it is the combination of it with other elements. So when it really starts to build and take on a unique style, whether it's farmhouse or French country, those elements can quickly build and date the kitchen. But just the hardware alone on standard shaker cabinets or more neutral elements are going to be pretty timeless. The lighting, classic pendant lights over an island or a clean lined chandelier above the dining space never go out of style. So I think keeping those either as classic as possible, so it is still very like metal and crystal for the more formal environment, or it is just glass and brass and very clean lines. Those are the ones that are going to withstand the trends. So appliances. Now, appliances through the years, through let's say the decades, would be very trendy, right? We all remember from the 80s the greens and yellows in appliances. So, yes, they dated so terribly. But we have had stainless steel options for quite some time now. And of course, in between these, we had white and black. So, yes, the whites and the blacks can, I think, date a space, or it just really makes the space look less elevated if it's not dating it. Whereas stainless steel has been around for a long time and will continue, right? It is a favorite, it's a classic, and it's lasted more than 20 years now. So that is a great option. But when you can afford it, go for built-in or panel ready. Stainless steel is still the safe bet, but panel ready is the next level. So the layout of a kitchen. Did you know that the layout of a kitchen is a very specific? There is an element in design called the work triangle. This is used between your major appliances in a kitchen, the fridge, the sink, and the stove. This is the gold standard of kitchen design. And so there are measurements that we use that in laying out a kitchen, these appliances should never be very far from one another as you're constantly going back and forth between them. And if it was laid out in any other fashion, you would hate it. If for some reason someone does have a house where that work triangle has not been adhered to, I'm sure you feel the pain. And so this is very important and a consistent element in kitchen design and has been for decades. Timeless kitchens are efficient. They aren't about showing off, they're about working smart and looking good while doing it. You might be wondering, how do I add my personality without making this space feel trendy or outdated in 5 years? Here's how. Use accessories. So, through using accessories, all of the things that are easily interchangeable, right? This is artwork that can be propped up on your cabinets, underneath your wall cabinets, covering up the backsplash. Also, I love to prop things up that cover outlets. Like if you do not have outlets that blend in to your backsplash, that's a great alternative, is to prop trays up or cutting boards or framed art. Also, any textiles, of course, that can be swapped out. So, this is cornice treatments on the windows or Roman shades there that also adds pops of color that can easily be switched out. And then, of course, towels or any sort of fabric element that would be used on upholstery, like bar stools and within the kitchen eating area. You can add one statement piece, a vintage rug in the center of the kitchen, and adding in a pop of color, a unique light fixture, always great, or just fun, bold bar stools. Fabrics and upholstery are where you can take a little more risk in the kitchen because those are going to be the lower priced items and easier then to switch out as time evolves or as your own preferences evolve. You can embrace natural patina on wood, leather, stone. They all get better with age, and this means that you selected quality, natural products, the best of the best. You can still express yourself without committing to that avocado green fridge. As you know, kitchens and bathrooms are where it's at regarding the ROI of any home improvements or investments. So, this matters. These investments matter. We want them to be timeless, to not be out of date and need another overhaul when you're ready to sell the house. They're also the most expensive part of the house. So, we want to spend the money wisely on quality cabinetry, durable countertops, professional grade appliances. If you're building or remodeling, timeless design can actually save money in the long run by avoiding the need for costly overhauls later. The kitchen is, I think, probably the most common area of a home that instantly could date a home, right? You could drop yourself into anybody's kitchen and you could guess maybe the decade when that was designed. Like, so the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, especially with the color of appliances. Um, and then the countertop material that's used, maybe the style of the kitchen cabinets, the color of the kitchen cabinets, the lighting that's used. Are they big can lights or are they the smaller 2-inch, more modern lighting overhead? Is it bulky, overwhelming brass fixtures from the 90s, or is it understated, clean lines glass and an antiqued brass because it could be more current? This is absolutely where you date your home. So the fact that that's the case, it's the biggest investment in your home, means that a timeless kitchen is the most important work we can do in retaining the value or increasing the value of your home. So, whether you're renovating or just dreaming, remember that the most timeless kitchens are the ones that blend function, beauty, and a little bit of soul. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone planning their next kitchen project. Until next time, stay inspired, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me on Charm and Circumstance. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow along on Instagram, because charm is personal and circumstance is what you make of it.